Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor rape a guy in this movie? Gosh, this is tough for me. I'm in the midst of working on another video entirely to be released on New Year's, but I couldn't not weigh in with my immediate thoughts after having watched Wonder Woman 84, and a return to the short, spoiler-free scripted review seemed like the ideal way to do it. So, ripping the band-aid right off, the best way to describe my feeling about the whole thing is that I've never seen a movie this bad with a climax this good when removed from context. Now, when I say this movie is bad, I don't say that because of things like the cheesy, over-the-top, silly nature of most of it. I personally would love it if more movies carried this tone, and that's present even in the parts of the movie that I like. And there is stuff to like here. I like that the action is comparatively low-key and that the movie doesn't feel obligated to have a ton of it. I like that this is one of maybe 3 or 4 comic book movies in the past 2 decades where the hero doesn't kill anyone. They're not responsible for a single death in the entire runtime. I like the subtext of the story, which justifies setting this in 1984, about how focused the 80s were on selling people a beautiful lie, and how that period of mass media can be seen as the birth of a singular global culture. Although actually, on that note, the fact that we established Diana doesn't own a television is kinda stupid. And most of all, I like Pedro Pascal. His performance basically carries the whole gosh darn movie. And I mean he carries it, as in he has to carry it, because beyond those couple of aspects, the film just doesn't hold up to scrutiny. And I don't mean logical scrutiny, okay? This ain't CinemaSins or EFAP or whatever. I'm talking about emotional scrutiny as much as anything else. Wonder Woman 84 is a problematic, overlong, largely unfun mess of a movie in the exact same way Batman v Superman was, only on the complete opposite end of the tonal spectrum. More politically attuned people than myself have noted all the problematic stuff in the movie's framing, subtext, and explicit text. And once you start thinking about it, it's frankly hard not to see significant parts of this movie as kind of gross and objectionable. Parts of it only didn't sink in for me while I was watching because the actual political circumstances of things as they were explained in the plot basically went in one ear and out the other. That's actually a lot of the plot, honestly. And the way the movie ends with so much unresolved or glossed over is kind of astonishing. And honestly, the big downside to this movie being set in 1984 is that unless this franchise just keeps doing period pieces going forward, then I know those threads, including one of this movie's central character relationships, is never going to be resolved. But even ignoring all that, the movie just isn't an engaging ride for me. The first hour and 50 minutes of this movie is a slog. It's so bloated and plotty, and the characters aren't near fleshed out enough for the time to feel justified. This movie could be an hour shorter and would only be better off for it. With the thinner material, both Gal Gadot and Chris Pine are giving markedly worse performances than they did in the first film. And Kristen Wiig is trying hard to inject Barbara Minerva with more than just an initially nicer version of the Jim Carrey Riddler Jamie Foxx Electro shtick, but it's just not there on the page for her. This movie aspires to be Richard Donner's Superman, but it's not interested in being as much of an introspective character piece as that film was, which defeats the purpose of being paced the way it is, and it frankly has all the care for its theming, pacing, plotting, and messaging as Superman 3 or 4. Not long from now, I should have a spoiler-filled, in-depth discussion going up on another channel. I'll explain it later, don't worry about it. But as far as my feelings right now are concerned, I don't think Wonder Woman 84 is very good at all. I'll frankly be shocked if I bring myself to watch it a second time outside of the eventual commentary. I didn't love Birds of Prey when it came out at the top of the year, and I haven't rewatched that one since theaters either, and I don't know, it just feels discouraging yet oddly appropriate to bookend 2020 with a pair of colorful, fun, goofy DC superhero films, which so many people love and see as highlights of the genre, where I'm personally just left kinda cold. Like, subscribe, comment with what you think, and sit tight for a channel update. I need to nurse my disappointment over a ginger ale. Excuse the camera quality, whatever, everybody shut up and listen. This is important. I want this video to serve as a clear marker for those coming to this channel in 2021 and beyond regarding the kind of content they can come to expect versus the kind of content this channel has prioritized in the past. It's time to just be frank about my feelings regarding this channel, which is that I'm firmly dedicated to making more content of all different kinds, but my subscriber count has been locked in a stagnant place for pretty much a full calendar year. And that's created a kind of demoralizing bitterness that's at odds with my drive to keep working on putting up content here. I know my videos by and large aren't the most polished things around, but I put a lot of work and heart and soul into a lot of them, particularly ones that have come out this year, but the way I've been choosing to manage this channel for the longest time is unfortunately antithetical to YouTube engagement. YouTube rewards channels that have a consistent brand, prioritizes engagement over frequency of uploads, and channels that have consistently low engagement videos get buried. Meanwhile, I'm here running myself ragged, making 4 or 5 different varieties of videos and pumping them out every week or so. And the last time I made a video with over 2,000 lifetime views was, again, over a full calendar year ago. For all intents and purposes, by any YouTube standard, this is a dead channel, and I'd like to dedicate the next year to attempting to fix that. Putting a bunch of movie commentaries and Doctor Who podcasts on this channel when that's not what most of my subscribers signed on for means I have a lot of lengthy videos with hardly any watch time, and which people don't tend to like or comment on. And what that means is that the videos I spend days or weeks writing and editing and gathering clips for suffer heavily as a result. So here's what's going to happen. As of tomorrow, this channel is dedicating itself exclusively to the scripted, analytical videos, big and small, that I think people are on this channel to watch. The Doctor Who podcasts, initial episode reactions, any Doctor Who thing that's not just a written analysis piece by me is going on the Doctor Who Deluge channel. Audio commentaries, spoiler reviews, pretty much any other kind of unscripted content will be going on the Ponderer Unscripted channel. Links for both channels are in the description, so if you're down for more of either of that kind of thing, you know where to find it. I can't promise they'll have anything up yet by the time I post this, but know that that's where things like what I've described will be going as we move forward. Again, I'm going to be having another video going up for New Year's, and have a happy New Year, everyone. I hope that everyone watching this is able to understand why I've made this decision, and that they stick around, and hopefully that, this ultimately proves to be the right move. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.